But let's get some reaction now. Let's get an independent political analyst, Thabo Shole-Mashao. Thabo, good afternoon. ANC Magashule and 15 other co-accused appearing briefly in court this morning, postponed to the 19th of October. A group of supporters outside. There was a ring of steel by police and the soldiers because there were concerns ahead of this appearance that there might be some flare-ups in those protests, but nothing, thankfully, happened. But ANC Magashule is saying this is all political. Not surprising to hear those comments.
It's not surprising. There's always a flirtatious line between politics and the legal elements, Braden. But most importantly, let's remember that this case is the source of his political problems, particularly within the ANC. It was at the advent of this case and when he was charged for this case that the ANC asked him to step aside. He refused to do so. As a result, he was suspended. So he would be very much interested and invested in this case, particularly. And we know that at the time he was the Premier of the Free State, so some bit of accountability is being requested from him. It is now up to the courts to decide whether this is his case has got some legal merits or it is just a political fuss. But either way, there's a big dark cloud over the suspended Secretary-General of the African National Congress right now. And it is that it has got a lot to do with this Free State asbestos case, Braden.
Yeah. So he says it's political. He made a comment. We played a bite a short while ago where he says it's like he's being taken away. ANC Magashule is being taken away from being with the people. I wonder why he wants to look at it like that, because there's a case that's been, NPA is convinced that there's a fraud case to answer for from that asbestos deal.
Yeah, and it is up to the NPA to prove its case, whether it's watertight or not, and as to whether this is just a political ploy, it's up to the court to decipher and decide on that particular issue. However, Braden, we know that politicians will always deflect attention from core issues, and this is not a pronouncement on the suspended Secretary-General of the ANC or not, but then it is just to say that he will say anything in his favor to make himself favorable and position himself accordingly in the public arena. But equally so, now the ball is on the NPA's court as to prove whether the case has got merits or not. And as it proceeds, it might be a very long journey. We know that there are about 11 people who have been accused who will be appearing, including natural persons and the juristic persons that will be appearing. And it is only then that we will know as the case unfolds as to what his role was, what is the direct evidence, did he take any money, is he implicated, the charges of fraud, corruption, and money laundering, and others. So lest we forget that it is not for him to prove his innocence. It is for the accuser who has the burden of proof, who must prove that the accused is indeed has done some wrongful deeds.
Yeah, Thabo, before I let you go, and very briefly, it just occurred to me, you've got an organization like the ANC, it's a governing party. Its Secretary-General has been suspended by the party. He's in court facing fraud charges. Serious matter. You've got the president of the governing party sitting today at the same time at the state capture inquiry, answering to this long list story, the sad story of corruption in the organization. The ANC looks like it's going to have to do quite a lot to come out of this and renew itself. And the evidence that's coming out that we are reading about currently, instead of looking at how well are they doing in government, we're looking at how badly they've done in corruption.
The ANC, the brand of the ANC doesn't only need a washing powder, it also needs a lot of bleach to go with it as well, and needs to be dried out for quite some time. And it's not going to be cleared out in any near future, Braden.
Thank you very much, Thabo. There's some insights from him. We'll bring you, of course, more news in a short while, including business news from the Money Desk. The man I call Mr. Moneybags here at ANC. He comes from the Money Desk. That's Devin Morgan. He'll bring you some updates shortly.